Good morning, students. Hope you all are doing great. Uh, Children, today I am going to start chapter number 5, Language of Chemistry. As you can see, so few topics of this chapter are same like the earlier chapter that I have already explained you, like the symbols, what are the elements, what is valency, the combining capacity of an element, variable valency, radicals. All these I have covered in the last chapter, and compounds also. How to make a compounds, what are the compounds, molecular formula. So today I am going to give idea again about the compounds, molecular formula of the compounds, and writing the molecule and how to write the formula of a compound. So you all know there are 118 elements present in the modern periodic table, and each element has a symbol. So you can see here in the table 5.1, each element, their name is given, symbol is given, their English name is given, and their symbol is given. So you can see in these columns. Then in last video only I have explained you about the valency. So the number of electrons required uh, for combining different same element or different element, or you can say the number of electrons required to gain, lose or share electrons so that they can attain the stability or noble gas configuration is called its valency. So in the case of matters, they have the 1, 2 and 3 valency, and for non-matters I told you, you have to apply if the outermost electron contains 4 electrons, then we have to apply the formula 8 minus 4, 8 minus 5, 8 minus 6, 8 minus 7. Like that we can find out the valency of a non-metal also. So here every element has the atomic number and the atomic mass. So what is the atomic mass? The mass of an atom is called the atomic mass, and atomic mass is the total number of proton and neutron present inside the nucleus of an element. So element combines with their own, remember this, with the same or with the own atoms are called molecules. Like oxygen, when it like you can see here, so many examples are given: oxygen, O2, N2, H2, all these are the elements. O3, ozone, phosphorus, P4. And the number you can see here in the subscript, number is given 2, 3 and 4. These are called atomicity. So you know these things. Now you all know that atoms contain 3 subatomic particles: electron, proton and neutron, and electron revolves around in the imaginary shells, or these shells are called also called as energy levels or orbits, and it is designated by a number. We can give any number to them, we can give any letter A, B, C, D, K, L, M, N, 1, 2, 3, 4, any number we can give. And electrons are filled based on the rule of 2n square, where n is the number. So maximum number of electrons which can occupy in the outermost shell is 8, and in the first shell 2 can come. In the K shell 2 will come based on the 2n square rule. Now an atom having 8 electron in the valence shell is referred as denoted as stable one, except helium, because helium atomic number is 2, means it has 2 protons and 2 electrons, so 8 cannot come. So helium follow the duplet noble gas configuration rule, duplet rule. Other noble gases follows octet rule. So there are few elements like you can see copper, iron, mercury. They just have the more than one valency, so they are also called as spatial elements. They are just have the variable valency. Variable means different valency. So here you can see in the table complete table. The same table is given in the chapter number 4 also. Table 5.3, elements are given, symbol, atomic number, their electronic configuration, the distribution of electron we can see here in different shell, KL, Mn, their valence shell and their valence electron and their valency. Here in this table you can see they have solved also. In case of non-metal they have solved, like how we can find out that nitrogen is having 5 electrons in the outermost shell, but why how we can say the valency is 3. So we can apply the H minus 5 rule, this formula, and we can find out the 3. Like this you can see neon complete, so H minus H is equal to 0. So remember this thing, like you can see in the carbon is having 4 electrons in the outermost shell, so 8 minus 4 will always be 4. So more than 4, you can say more than 4, or 4 for 4 we should apply this formula, 8 minus 4, 8 minus 5, 8 minus 6, 8 minus 7, 8 minus 8. So in this table they have given you nicely. So 1 to 20 given. Now based on the variable valency, like I told you, copper, lead, mercury, tin and iron, they have more than one valency, and that's why they can carry different charges. For example, iron metal, they exist in the two forms. So if Fe2 plus is there, 2 plus, you know, it is in cation form. So when it will donate 2 electrons, it will carry 2 unit of positive charges. So it is called ferrous ion. So if it will donate the 3 electron, Fe3 plus, it will say ferric. So here you can see it is also written ferric. So like this they have different names. So I explained you in the last video. You can see that video, and you can see here table 5.4 also, their name is given in the bracket and their valency is also given in the Roman number in the bracket only. So copper is these 5, they have the lower valency also and they have the higher valency also. So they show a variable valency. Next children, I also told you that a radical is having a, what is the radical? They an atom or a group of atoms that have a charge. So how they will get, how any element get the charge? Either by donating the electron in case of metals, and or by accepting the electron in case of non-metal. So whenever any element donate the electron, it will carry the positive charge. So the radical having positive charge are always called cation. It is also like sodium ion, potassium ion, aluminum ion, and the radicals having negative charge are called anions. They are chlorine. So metals, they can easily donate the electron, we all know. So they exist as a cation, and non-metals, they accept the electron. So when they will accept the electron, they carry the negative charge and they will become anions. So few cations, table 5.5, you can see few cations. Their valency is given, their formula is also given, symbol is also given. The same way anions, for anions also their formula and symbol is given. Next is compound. So we all know how compounds are formed, when two or more elements, different types of elements combine together as per their valency, as per their donation of the electrons, acceptations of the electrons, they are called compounds. So remember, this is the definition is given. A molecule may be formed when two or more than two types of elements combine as per their valency. This is compounds. So in the table 5.7 you can see compound is given. Each compound, like you know, every element is having symbol. So whenever they are combined, and they combine in a fixed ratio, and they have a symbol, proper chemical formula, okay, like, and in the third column they are showing the constituent of the element. These element, hydrogen and oxygen, combine in a fixed ratio and form a water. same as nitrogen and hydrogen combine in a fixed ratio and they form a ammonia. Methane, carbon and hydrogen, so you should know, you should remember the formula in the chemistry. It is very important. Number of atom of each element in the compound also they are showing that here are 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. So 2:1. So hydrogen and oxygen combine in a fixed ratio of the 2:1 and they are and form water molecule, water compound. So here you can see. So others formulas are also given. You can see sulfuric acid, nitric acid, silver chlorides, their elements are given and how they combine in different ratio, that is given. The molecule of a compound. So as I told you, just like element, they also have these molecular compounds, they are also have the formula, it is called molecular formula. So what is the molecular formula? Molecular formula simply represents the elements which make up the compound. So we all know it gives the exact number of atoms. So here we know 2 is the hydrogen and 1 is the oxygen. So it gives the exact number of atoms of each element that combine to form one molecule of a compound. So what is the chemical formula of water? We all know H2O. It means it contains one molecule of water and that one molecule of water contains 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. Same way for carbon dioxide, we know here you can see also it is made up of 1 atom of carbon and 2 atom of oxygen, so CO2. Then NaCl, so here 1 atom of sodium and 1 atom of chlorine. So like this we form the, or every compound formula we can form. Now how to write a molecular formula? So for writing molecular formula there are few rules, rules. So first rule is that we should know the symbol of the, as you can see the first few steps are given. So we have to follow these steps for writing the molecular formula. So here we should know the symbol, of the radicals, and we should know second and each radical or each symbol we should know the valency also. So valency plays a very important role. And then what we have to do, third step, we have to crisscross. Crisscross means we have to interchange the valency. So in the 8th class also, even in the 7th or 8th class I told you how to write a molecular formula. So the same way it is by crisscross method or by interchanging method we can change, and if the charges are same we should ignore the charges, and if the charges are different then that charge will also exchange, or the valency will exchange. Okay, so then remove any common factor. So I told you as I am going to give you the example of sodium chloride, how to write a sodium chloride. So sodium chloride we know the radical symbol, symbol is Na plus and Cl negative. So both are having one positive and one negative charge. So when it will crisscross, what will happen? One is it will cancel over. You know, in the maths also same charges you cancel over, same digit you cancel over. The same way, if the charges are same, for example 1 1 or 2 2 or 3 3, then we will cancel it over. Okay, so after crisscrossing, what we will do? We will cancel it. So children, as I am just explaining you with the given example which is given in your book, so but in the Zoom class also I will explain you this concept, crisscross method. So please, so here you can see Na is having one charge and Cl is having one charge, so 1 1 is common factor. It is written also in the step that remove any common factor in valency. So last step, this is the fourth. So we will remove. So that's why we will remove this Na1 Cl1 1 1 charge, and the formula of the NaCl will be remain NaCl only, simply NaCl. And we all know for sodium chloride we are always writing NaCl simply, it do not have any number on each charge. So the molecular formula, how it comes, because it carry both carry the one charge. When we will crisscross, we will get the same charge, and same charge we will remove, and we will simply write the formula. The same as hydrogen chloride, hydrogen is also having the one, Cl is also having the one, it is also the same like NaCl. So we will common factor we will remove, it will cancel it over, and we will get the HCl. So same way hydrogen sodium hydroxide. So as you can see here, sodium is having 1 plus, hydroxyl ion radical OH negative, it is also having 1, both are common, so we will write NaOH for sodium hydroxide. Now have a look this magnesium chloride, magnesium is having 2 plus, Cl is having 1 minus. So when we will crisscrosses, what will happen, this 2 will go to the Cl2 and this one will go to the Mg. Okay, remember this thing, that the charge of magnesium will go to Cl after crisscrossing, and the Cl charge will go to the magnesium. Earlier it was Mg2 plus, now it has Mg1. Earlier it chlorine was Cl1 minus, now it has Cl2. So like that, one we don't write in any formula, in the any final formula, so we have to write only Mg, single Mg Cl2. So the formula will be Cl2. Same as ammonium carbonate. Carbonate you know children that you should remember the radical, all the table I told you. So you should remember the common with that carbonate, CO3 carbonate valency is 2 and NH4 ammonium the radical valency is 1. So ammonium, when we will crisscross, this 1 valency will go to the carbonate and this carbonate 2 valency will go to the ammonium. So that's why we have to write, because 4 is also there, so we will write in a bracket. So the formula will become NH4 whole twice CO3. So this will be the formula of ammonium carbonate. So here so many formulas are given, their name is given and their common name is also given. For example, H2SO4 sulfuric acid, we usually call sulfuric acid, but the name of the compound chemical name is hydrogen sulfate, because hydrogen is there and sulfate radical is there. Hydrogen nitrate, but we use the common name of this sodium common salt, we use lunar caustic, all we use. Now what is the significance, what is the importance of this molecular formula? First one is we will get an idea of the that how many elements are there, how many how in what fixed in what ratio they are fixing, they are so first point is the molecular formula of a compound represent the name of a compound. So we can easily we are giving by molecular formula, by making a molecular formula we are giving that name of the compound. It represent one molecule of a compound, so it represent the one molecule. For example, here in this case we can say the AgNO3, it is a one single compound, so we should know that idea also. It represent the elements which make up the compound. So from this formula we can see, by writing this we can see like it is formed of silver, nitrogen and oxygen, 3 elements, they combine together in a fixed ratio and they are forming silver nitrate. The molecular formula gives the exact number of atoms. As I said, it gives the exact number of atoms of element, and that is combining in a fixed ratio depending upon their valencies, and they are forming a one molecule of a compound. The molecular formula also represent the mass, their weight also, their mass also we can easily calculate. So there is a formula that we will I will explain you in the next chapter it will come. So next is checkpoint 1. So this is a homework, please do write the molecular formula of a following compound and name the following. If second you are unable to do, then I will just try to find out the first one how to write. Okay, So you can write attempt do this first one of checkpoint number 1, first question, in a rough copy, not in a fair copy, and the last chapter question answers I will send you shortly in this week only. So thank you children, go through the chapter. If you find any difficulty, just ask me in the Zoom class. Thank you and have a nice day. God bless you all.